I just can't believe, where we are at this point within the company. It's just such a thrill. And it just so happens to be my 4-year anniversary of joining EXP today. And super excited to bring you ICONversations with a few people that I'm hoping to get on stage. There's Richard behind me. Sweet. That's awesome. And I've got Joe already here. We're waiting on 2 more people, 2 more amazing icons, Alicia and Jen from
I'm here,
Oklahoma
just on
City.
mobile.
Okay, good. Well, I will find out who's where in just a second. I don't know what's going on, in the world of technology, other than, 2 amazing things have happened this week financially in the financial markets with both DoorDash and Airbnb going public to wrap up an amazing year. And we are certainly well positioned as a company, as owners and investors going into 2021, just like Jason Gessing said a little earlier, that the perfect storm is still roaring and it's swirling, and we're right in the middle of it. And I'm just so blessed and thankful for all of you here and the ICON agents that are about to have an amazing conversation here. So just want to give you guys an idea of what we're hoping to accomplish today and stay engaged. I like anyone here in the audience. Oh, and by the way, what was the congratulations? That was my 4-year anniversary at EXP is today. And just to let you know, tomorrow happens to be my birthday, and on my birthday 4 years ago, somehow one of my past clients decided to take my announcement and call my my old brokerage owner slash operating partner and find out who their new agent was going to be, because I had left that brokerage. And so on my birthday, while at a spa and being spoiled by my wife, my phone lit up like crazy. And after leaving the spa, I couldn't be more relaxed, more excited about my future, and at the same time had to drive over to that office to give them the official news and hand in my key fob. So this is a great day for me to be hosting ICONversations. And with me today, I have Alicia Cook out of Oklahoma City, Jen Carr out of Quantico, Virginia, recently moved there. Richard Reyes. Richard and I have had several conversations over the last couple of months. I'm looking forward to seeing what Richard has to give us today. He is always suited up and ready to go, so you're going to get a treat out of West Covina, California. And then we have Joe Simonetti, I believe, and he is, that's how it's pronounced, but Joe is a rock star agent with a team of 9 people behind him, cranking it out in Olympia, Washington, where it's just an insane market, and we've all seen some challenges throughout all of our markets this year. So with that in mind, why don't I just make sure I have everyone here. Lisa, are you here?
Yes.
Perfect. Jen, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Great. Mic check. Richard.
Hi, good morning. Yes, I'm here.
All right. And Joe, you're here too.
Good morning. I'm here.
All right. Excellent. So everybody in the audience, I would love for you to try to unpack or ask questions to us based on answers that these icons are giving. They are giving their time, their intellectual property to you directly to help you with your business going into 2021. We only have a couple more conversations left of the year. And so, the big questions right now are, where is this market heading? The market's getting tighter and more competitive all across the country. I don't know anyone that's experiencing an inventory glut or an inventory blessing. Everyone's dealing with inventory challenges. So with all of this going on, and with the holidays and all the other things we're seeing out there, let me start by asking this question. How do you stay focused? how do you stay focused? And why don't we start from East Coast to West Coast on this one? Hey, Jen, how do you stay focused?
All right, guys, I'm on here mobily, so bear with me if we have any issues. My power's out. So staying focused for me really is just having a plan. You know, when you have a plan in place, I feel like it's a lot easier to stay focused on, you know, what you're doing because you have something to guide you along the way. I just moved, you know, like you said, from North Carolina to Virginia. My husband's military, so it's kind of been an adjustment. And that could have led for me to just kind of sit back, relax, and not do much. But I know what my numbers are. I know what I need to do to hit ICON this next year. So I have 21 more transactions before July 1st. And I am definitely going to accomplish that.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Hey, are you saying that in moving markets, you don't have to reset any of your goals?
Well, technically,
No. What we talked about earlier, right, is, and I'll just throw this out there, you didn't change franchises or brokerages when moving across the state line, did you?
No, I didn't. And that's what was the absolute great thing about being with eXp Realty. You know, as a military spouse, every time I've moved prior to becoming a real estate agent, I've had to kind of restart over a job, find a new place to work, find a new place, you know, to be. With eXp, it was so seamless. All I had to do was get my license here in Virginia, and I was rocking and rolling. So really, you know, prior to being a real estate agent, and even just with eXp, I didn't have to start over. I didn't have to, you know, to do anything, because I already knew the systems. I already had everything set up. I already knew what my goal was. And it was so easy just to kind of transition into the new market. Being military, I kind of have a built-in, you know, sphere of influence. So it was even, you know, people are like, oh my gosh, you're not going to be able to do any business. You're going to be, you know, you're going to be slow. And it really turned out to not be that way. You know, I had a little bit of a slowdown, but really not that much. And I've just, you know, started to rock and roll here. And I'm able to continue to meet my goals. And I think a lot of that attributes to, you know, being with eXp Realty and already having my foundation set.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. Congratulations. So Alicia, how do you stay focused?
I would say for me, I mean, I'm a single agent. You know, I've hit ICON now. I just hit it twice. You know, I just hit it my second time being here at the company. So really, I mean, I have to stay focused in order to stay up on my files on my clients. Really, I'm a checklist kind of girl. That's kind of why I like SkySlope too here. But I make myself checklists every single day and just check things off. So I make sure I stay laser focused on what needs to be done each day and each week and each month. And I would just say my biggest thing is, you know, staying top of mind with my clients and past clients and just doing follow-up.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Good for you. Now, Richard, how do you stay focused in your market?
I've always been a person of, I guess you could say, creature of habit. So I guess I'm focused all the time. I mean, from waking up in the morning and having my same rituals to ending my day, you know, the same way. I mean, I guess for me, I dummy it down. I just go to work, put your head down, and kind of like I was jokingly saying this to a guy last night, a colleague, that I'm like an old school mule. Like I'm just there, just going for it. I mean, just working. I mean, with all due respect, I have family that are in hard labor. We're not digging trenches, and I mean, what are we really doing? We're really being a huge piece to people's lives, and whether it be selling or buying. So to answer the question, just keep it consistent and dummy it down.
So what you're saying there is there's this phrase that comes to mind, repetitious boredom.
Correct. That's perfect. I'll take that.
Right. And the success it comes from being comfortable within repetitious boredom. Doesn't sound like you chase after shiny objects.
Right. You're spot on. I feel like we speak quite more often than than you said in the early part of this conversation. Yeah.
Well, and I like that we have the opportunity to continue to talk about the same topics and go deeper. That's what's so cool about this, and the opportunity. I love being a moderator. I highly recommend all of you icons that are here listening or on the panel to sign up to moderate. It's just such an amazing way to learn from all of you. So Joe, how do you stay focused?
So the top way that I stay focused is really time blocking. To me, every minute of my day is very, very important because my days are jam packed, and so I time block my schedule, and I time block the most important things in the first part of the day. Meeting with my team, doing the hard things that none of us want to do, making the prospecting calls, making the follow-up calls, all of that. So I really live by my calendar, and that's really how I stay focused. Just making sure, when I am doing things is prospecting, turning off all my notifications, because we really live in the era today of lots of white noise, meaning there's always some type of notification going off, something that somebody needs, and you really have to just stay disciplined and carve out your time and say, hey, this is the time that I'm committing to doing this every single day. And if you do those things, you'll be surprised at the results you'll have in a couple of years.
So one of my familiar phrases from Gary Keller's The One Thing to the bold mindset is to build a bunker. Yep. Sounds like you have a lot of things that could distract you, but you discipline yourself to build that bunker around you. Now, a lot of people are working from different places than they normally are. Let me ask all of you this question. Are you working from a home office, or are you working from a physical location outside of your home as part of your environment of staying focused?
Keith, this is Jennifer here. I work from my home office. So I just moved into a brand new house in a brand new subdivision. That's why I don't have power right now, but I work strictly from my home office. And that has worked out really good for myself.
Come on, guys. We're supposed to have a conversation here. I'm not going to pass the microphone.
Sorry, Richard Reyes here. I when the pandemic hit in the early part of the year, just like most, there was a lot of uncertainty. So I literally shut down the office for about a month and a half, and I was terrified. I didn't want to get anybody sick, and my backyard was my office for about a month and a half, and it got to a point where I could not be home. I mean, I love my wife, 20 plus years. I have 3 little girls. They're doing the homeschooling, and I love them all. It's just, for me, I need to be at my office, where I'm at right now. So yeah, I was working from home, but I wasn't as effective. I'm doing everything here at my office with a mask on, with a bunch of Lysol, a bunch of disinfectant wipes, and all that good stuff.
I also have a home office. I've always kind of worked from home. I'm really blessed, though, that my new house, my home office is like clear across the house, so I can really kind of concentrate and focus on what I need to get done.
Is that something that you planned by, when getting into a new house?
Actually, yes. I mean, it kind of made perfect sense for me. I enjoy working from home. I mean, if I need to get out and go work somewhere else, I have plenty of places to go do that too. And it happens occasionally, but I mean, here's just kind of my environment. I kind of have all kinds of quotes all over my home office to kind of keep me motivated. And I just kind of like being here.
That's awesome. Where do you purchase your quotes from? Do you buy them online? Do you find them in stores, or do you have them made?
I actually had most of them made. I have a girl who does like some hand lettering, and so I went and got a bunch of cool frames of all sorts of sizes and some paper, and she just kind of made them. In fact, I'm like looking at 4 of them right now as I'm sitting here. So just kind of, when I'm kind of down or I just kind of need some more motivation, I can just look up, read it, and be like, okay, I got to keep going.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. And how about you, Joe?
So I work from a separate office. I don't work at home. For me, I find it much easier. I have young kids as well, so it's easier for me to really focus and to really just lock in and get done what I need to get done before I come home, so I can focus on the family when I do get home.
Sure. Awesome. Awesome. Well, and that's interesting that you say that, Alicia, because it's really important that we keep things around us that keep us focused. One of the things that I do outside of having my own freestanding 1920s bungalow office that I've been blessed to be able to work from throughout the pandemic, other than any type of mandatory quarantine that we've had to do as a family. I've got 11, 14, and 17-year-olds, so we've had a few infection scares here and there, and I'm actually a COVID survivor as well. So I've been through all the ups and downs of the emotions of it. I've lost direct family members due to complications brought on by the virus. So I've seen this. It's all come full spectrum for us. One of the things that I do personally is I look at my business planning for the following year, this time of year, and I start to change passwords and logins to goals that I have for the next year. And if that goal is still the same and it has not been realized yet, then I leave that password in place. I might change up the wording or lettering of it or some of the symbols. Does anyone else use passwords that either motivate you or keep you focused on your goals?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I don't, but man, that's a great idea and something that I'm definitely going to start using now this year, because typically it's just my regular password just stays the same and I don't ever change it, but I like the fact of kind of incorporating your goals into your passwords. That's pretty cool.
Oh, great! I'm excited that I'm excited that you're hearing that. And I love seeing the chat box coming alive with questions and answers coming from people within the audience and the attendees. I love seeing a lot of that going on. It's a great way for us to be fully immersive and interactive here in EXP world. It's really amazing. We had just such an amazing EXPCon just last month that really just, it was literally a month ago that we're in the middle of EXPCon with thousands of agents in different rooms attending different events. And one of the things that I think that we can talk about real quick is within ICON and explaining to the audience about ICON, what it means for us to be ICON agents. First of all, to be an ICON agent, we have capped. So first of all, we have contributed our 20% back to EXP at the $16,000 level. Then we've moved on from there and have completed 20 more transactions with a transaction fee of $250 attached to those to EXP. So effectively contributing $21,000 towards the company dollar of EXP, which is driving revenues and profits and funding for more programs throughout the company operations, let alone stock acquisitions and other company acquisitions and other things like that. But the key to that for us is that we then get, once we achieve ICON status, we are awarded stock back from the company in the form of true ownership up to that $16,000 mark again back to us. So we're effectively getting paid to be here. It's just such an amazing privilege that we have. I've been with EXP, like I said earlier, 4 years ago today, and I elected right from the beginning to get into the stock purchase plan, which I highly recommend that you all do, regardless of where you are in your financial position. You can always give up 5% of your commission to go directly pre-tax into purchase plan within EXP stock. It's done more things for me than I'll ever be able to explain, because I still do what I normally do every day, yet ownership within this company has created amazing opportunities for me and my family, and the things that I can do to achieve the goals and the dreams in a very compressed time frame comparatively where I was setting goals before. So that's what I really, in transition, one of my major questions today is about business planning. And so, I guess I'll ask it this way. What worked for you over the last 6 months that was different than in the past, than what you had anticipated having to do with your business this year? And for the next 6 months, what will you do next? Let's start there before we talk about, let's talk about the actual application of things that you might have changed or adjusted that are now working, or that you're still bringing into your business model into 2021, because it seems like the commonality is that we are now overlapping, within our markets, within our production, within everything else, based on the effects of the pandemic. So, any of you, what have you done differently, and what will you do next?
Sure. One thing that's worked really well for us in 2020 that we'll continue to do in 2021 is utilizing Zoom. We've utilized Zoom a lot for our team meetings, then also to meet with clients as well. So it's really been a great resource, for those buyer consultations, or those seller consultations where they might not feel comfortable to actually meet with you in person at their house, but they still, do want to meet. And so it's been a great resource that we've been using a lot.
So Joe, do you have an upgraded account with Zoom to handle the volume of
Yes
calls and
yes.
Are you recording sessions?
I'm not recording sessions, but that's something I'm going to start doing, just because I've had some agents request that. So that is something that I do plan to do probably in 2021.
Awesome. So when it comes down to, and do different agents have different Zoom accounts that they're using to meet with clients as well?
No, so they typically will just use mine, my account for anything like that. But it's it's 2020 was really just a year that we all had to figure out, how to adapt to the challenges that we all have been facing. And so I think it's going to change the way forever, how people do business.
Oh, absolutely. How about you, Richard, or Alicia, or Jen?
I've realized that I run a very lean operation, and quite honestly, this is probably the best year of my real estate career. I do understand that in order to get to where, basically take it to the next level, it's very imperative that I begin to scale. And what I did is I hired an inside sales agent, to take all the leads, and it's a work in progress. Like I said, I do understand that's going to be a very, very important piece in order to take the 60 plus units to 160 units. And with that, I also understand that it's going to take more help. So in the last 6 months, I guess I'm a very I guess I don't want to say stubborn, but I think it's more so like a one-way thinker, and just listening to a bunch of podcasts and YouTube videos, and I realized that in order for me to crush 21 goals, I'm going to need more help. So I'm working on that right now and looking for, some help. So, yeah, I mean, I hope I answered the question. I mean, it's a work in progress. And
so what you're saying is now, it sounds like you're a calculated risk taker. Is that a good phrase to use?
100%, 100%.
Okay. So the leap of faith in adding to your team, and I'd love for Joe to come back on this part of it in a second. But when looking for help, first of all, you said something really cool about podcast, listening to podcasts and YouTube, watching videos on YouTube to seek help in this regard. Who are your favorites to watch?
Oh gosh, there's a ton of them. Dan Locke, old school Grant Cardone, Ed Milet is a good one. He's actually from San Dimas, which is about 4 miles away from where I live. So
wait, what? And can you type these into the chat box when you get a chance?
Yeah, for sure. But Ed Milet, I just finished listening to him earlier today. He just lost his father to to cancer, and he's a really good guy. He's, like I said, he's from San Dimas, homegrown, and he's just a killer. He's all about mindset and anything I can get my hands on. I mean, I subscribe to that YouTube for, I think it's $15 a month. But it almost, I guess, since, people are paying to advertise on YouTube. So anytime I open up my YouTube video, which is every morning, I get to see the priority videos that kind of correlate to what I'm watching, as days go on. But yeah, I mean, I'd be happy to type them in here for sure. There's some good nuggets out there for sure.
Awesome. Hey, anybody else in the audience that have good, either YouTube video people to watch or podcasts, please feel free to share those in the chat box. This is a great way for you to interact with the rest of the people in the audience by letting us know who you like to follow. And I'm taking notes here because, something I need to start really doing is, getting my headphones to put better words in my head for 2021, and podcasting is something that I just haven't really gotten the grips of. I'm just not sure I don't have a long enough drive time, or I don't time block enough just to get through it. But Richard seems to be really, I know that you're disciplined in putting amazing thoughts and conversations in your brain every morning. Joe, when it comes down to team, you operate the largest team out of the group here, I believe, with 7 agents, 2 ISAs, and 2 full-time admin. That's a team of 10, which is amazing. And yet this year, it's been a challenge, from a production perspective, but you still seem to have all these team members around. What would you advise Richard, in looking for help or leverage in 2021?
Yeah, I mean, I think Richard's making the best move. I mean, for all agents, once you get to a certain production level, I would say that an assistant or an inside sales agent are probably 2 of the best hires that you can make, just because that's kind of how I've grown and scaled my business, is continued to reinvest. And once you actually find talented people to add to your team, I mean, they will make a world of difference. So I think he's doing the right thing. I don't know if he has somebody that is already doing his TC work or stuff like that, but it's really, just highly leveraging yourself so, you can meet with as many of those clients as possible, and, and also have your agents, once you start bringing on agents, taking those appointments too. So, it takes a lot of focus, a lot more discipline, the larger that you're starting to grow, just because these are people that you're in constant communication with 24/7, and they really are part of your life, not just your work life. They become part of your family. So, I would say definitely be patient. There is some good ISA courses, Richard, that your ISA could take if they aren't trained, or if you're training them. And I can drop that in the chat box.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
If you're
Thank you.
interested.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I like that as well because, kind of like, Richard said earlier, it's like once you hit a certain spot, it's time to kind of grow a little bit. And I've been a single agent since I've, left Keller Williams when I came over to EXP, and I've just done more and more and more real estate. And finally I was like, all right, for me, I did 45 transactions last year. This year, 2020. And it got to a point where I was like, all right, I need to hand over some stuff so that I can do more, get rid of the stuff that I'm not good at or I don't want to do, and start doing things that I love to do. Most of my business comes from social media, and I want to focus more on that. And, TikTok and most of my people are military. So, and younger. So it's like getting into the TikTok world and Facebook and, all that stuff, because that's where I get all my clients. So being able to give away the transaction part, I have a transaction coordinator now. That has been amazing to not have to worry about all the paperwork and make sure everything's in SkySlope and all that stuff. And it's helped me, be able to plan for next year. Okay, so what am I going to focus on? I want to do a YouTube channel because, again, I have young military first-time home buyers and they're uneducated about the whole buying process. So if I can do a YouTube channel and get that content out there to them, I'm going to be able to grow my business, tenfold compared to what I would do if I'm just focusing on, all the things I don't like to do.
Now, when it comes down to your transaction coordinator, is that someone through EXP? Is that someone through a different outside service?
So it's actually an outside service that I just got into contact with here in Virginia through the title company. It's actually called MRE Assist, and $350 per transaction, and they take care of all the paperwork from when I go under contract till I close.
Got it. So it seems like it's stems off of a Keller Williams model, MREASS.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that at first. I was like, what is this? But it has worked out really good. And again, she actually works over with the title company as well. So I feel like it's going to benefit me in the long run. And eventually I'll probably, I know that EXP just got their transaction coordinator program. It's coming up and coming around. So we'll probably end up using that. And again, just leveraging stuff so I don't have to worry about all the things, again, I don't want to do.
That's awesome. Now, and then Alicia. Wait, someone has their mic on. Alicia, what will you do next, or what has been working for you over the last 6 months, and what will you do next in the next 6 months?
Well, I think we talked about last time we did the ICONversation. I'm going to be starting to build out my team for this year. That's been my big 2021 goal. I did have a transaction coordinator this year that was absolutely fantastic. And it really helped take a lot off my plate. And again, kind of like what Jen said, helps me focus on the things that I love doing versus, that I don't love so much. I've also been using a lot of Zoom as well, like for listing appointments and, just talking to different people that are, maybe a little more cautious, with what's going on in our world. So I've really been doing that. And I used to do a ton of live video. And really, I kind of slacked off when I really should have been ramping that back up. So that's another goal of mine, to kind of get back to it.
Excellent. Well, that and so what will cause you to get back to it?
Just being purposeful in my day, adding it back to my to-do list. Like I said, I have that to-do list, and it really kind of helps me keep on track. I've kind of let some things kind of get away from me. Like video, for instance. Are
you still here?
I think we lost her.
Guess we lost her. So that goes into one other question I'd love to talk about, and then try to get some more interaction from the audience as well. And I keep the comments going and communication going there. It's awesome to see. And if someone can tell me how to copy the chat bar information so that we can get that offline later, that would be great. I know that there's a way to do it, but I don't want to waste my time today trying to get that done. I want to stay focused on asking these great questions to these amazing ICON agents that I have. I'm so blessed to be with today. So how do you stay organized? I've heard a little bit from each of you about that, but in the end, how do you take what you're going to do next and stay organized enough to do that? Are you a old school ring-bound notebook journalist like me, or are you is it all on a Google Calendar, or is it all set up through your CRM? Help us understand what you do.
For me, I use the old school yellow line paper from Office Depot across the street, and items that I cannot get or didn't get through in the day, I carry them over to the next sheet of paper, so when I come in tomorrow, I know what needs to be taken care of.
I'm the exact same way, Richard. I have a yellow notebook here, and I do all my to-do sheets on that, on my to-do list. And then I carry it over to the next day of whatever I need to get done. So I'm old school, but then I'll also take some notes on my phone if I for some reason, don't have that notebook with me.
Awesome. Awesome.
I still use a daily planner. I still write. I really
What's it called?
Do what I call in the beginning of a day a brain dump, just because I have so many things going on in my head all the time that I really try to get it all out on paper in the beginning of the morning, because if I don't get it written down, I will forget it. And then I do transfer those things over to the next day too, and it just gives me a good history, so I can also go back and see if there's something that I need to reference. So I still think writing and writing down every single day, your highest priorities, your musts for the day. I think that's very important to do. There's just something with writing that's different than typing it on your phone and your board.
I completely agree, guys. I'm the absolute same way. I love writing things down. I love having a journal, like you said, Joe. It's like I can go back and look at last year's notes from the same time because I kind of date everything as well. Or I have a Freedom Mastery is the planner that I use. It's a daily planner, monthly planner, and it's also goal planning as well. I have my vision board inside of my planner that I can just whip out and look at every day if I wanted to. And every month I revisit all of my goals for the month, and there's a place for you to write all that stuff down. So I like that I can go back and look at, okay, what was Jen doing last year in January, or what was Jen doing last year?
Yes.
What were the things that I was struggling with? What were the things that were easy? Because it kind of recaps your month. So it says like, what could I have done better? And I like that because sometimes you can get distracted, the world happens, the pandemic happens or whatever. It's like, what did I struggle with in this month and how did I overcome that?
And what's it called?
Writing that stuff down, it's called Freedom Mastery. It's a law of attraction planner. And I can't put it in the chat box because my computer's not working, so I'm not in the world. I'm on my phone, but post a link. Yeah, I'll post a link on my my page in Workspace. So if anybody wants to go and check that out, I've used it for the last 2 years. My mentor with EXP, Jess Cassidy, she's